I think one of the best things about the NFL is that you can go from trash to treasure pretty fast, sometimes overnight. This offseason, the Bears finally stopped settling for mediocre and laid their mark across the league. They signed real talent so they can see an actual difference with Justin Fields and, more importantly, the team. A lot of teams had great offseasons, and I think the team that improved the most is Chicago. To put it in perspective, at this time last year, the Bears' starting wide receiver core consisted of Darnell Mooney, Equanimeous St. Brown, and Dante Pettis. Now the Bears have DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, and Darnell Mooney. Not to mention they also have Cole Kmet and added Robert Tonyan. I want to look at the Bears draft picks and other transactions to analyze how those new pieces changed the way they play football in Chicago. I think the Bears had one of the most interesting drafts, taking some big swings that they may not have been able to take without some of the talent they already added. And with the first pick, Darnell Wright, offensive tackle out of Tennessee. The Bears have been building this offensive line up for the past 2 years. Wright joins a solid young group with Tevin Jenkins and Braxton Jones, who've really come along. Braxton Jones even said Wright is far ahead of him at this time last year when he was a rookie. He's an absolute mauler at 6'5", 333 pounds, and he's athletic enough to play tackle. That's the gift he brings. The Bears also added Nate Davis. The offensive line goes as follows: Jones left tackle, Jenkins left guard, Whitehair center, Davis right guard, and Wright right tackle. I think that group has the potential to be one of the best offensive lines in the league this year. Wright finished with the lowest blown block percentage in the SEC at 0.7%. And he didn't blow any blocks on designed runs in 2022. I'm going to give that an A grade. And with the second pick, they got Gervon Dexter, defensive lineman out of Florida. Dexter is like Wright in many ways, as he's big but also athletic. He stands tall for an interior D lineman at 6'6" and 310 pounds. He ran a 4.88 40-yard dash, which is excellent for someone his size. The Bears needed huge help on the defensive line, especially in the pass rush. Eberflus is a big advocate for interior defensive linemen. He had Buckner, Autry, and Grover Stewart in Indy, and that gives you a strong foundation and the ability to take more chances in coverages if you know your D-line can generate pressure up the middle. I'm going to go an A grade with that one as well. With the third pick, this is one of my favorites, Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback out of Miami. He is a huge scheme fit for this team. Eberflus is known for his Tampa 2 coverages, and Stevenson has a lot of experience in that department. Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are very good starters, and Gordon is only going to get better, and adding Stevenson will help both of them be more consistent. Chicago needed help all over the defense, and their pass defense was no exception. They gave up a ton of big plays, mostly because of the young secondary with a new scheme and a new coach. Stevenson is a big, physical, and athletic cornerback, and there really seems to be a pattern with these selections. He allowed a 2.5 quarterback rating in 107 snaps in press coverage. That was the best among all Division I corners with at least 50 press coverage snaps. He's no joke, and I think he'll develop a role really fast. With the fourth pick, Zach Pickens, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Bears got exactly what they were looking for. They weren't afraid to pull the trigger on athletic defensive linemen. Pickens is just another great scheme fit. I feel like they could have gone edge, but help up front is help up front. Pickens actually slimmed down from 305 to 291 before the combine, and he ran a 4.89 40-yard dash. He's not a bad pass rusher, but he needs refinement in his game. He's a run stuffer all the way, and he prides himself on it. Pickens and Dexter pair up with vets Andrew Billings and Justin Jones. So the Bears have a lot of depth now, and it's important to keep fresh legs on the D-line, and they're going to do that this year. I'm going to give this a B grade. I like the pick, but I really wanted them to go edge more than defensive tackle. But either way, a good pick. With the fifth pick, running back Rashawn Johnson out of Texas. Now, he may have been a backup to Bijan, but there's no denying the talent that he has. He's a powerful rusher at 6 foot, 219 pounds, and he was originally recruited to Texas as a dual threat quarterback, but due to injuries to the Texas backfield in 2019, Johnson switched to running back, which ended up being the best and most important decision of his career up to that point. He's extremely good at breaking tackles. He had 3.96 yards after contact per rush last year. Being a backup means he has fresh legs. There's not a lot of wear and tear on him, and the best days are only ahead of him. And not to mention, the running back room in Chicago right now is a bit of a question mark. I feel like it's likely going to be a committee. All the running backs are different in size, but their game has a lot of similarities. Herbert and Foreman come in as a running back 1A and running back 1B, but Johnson could easily find himself with a role because of his talent. I do think overall, though, the most talented running back on that team is Herbert by a hair. It's a good pick. I think there's a lot of value there. I'm going to go B grade. Now with the next pick, Tyler Scott, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. This is a really good depth piece. He can come in and do well if someone goes down, and I'm going to predict that he'll beat out Dante Pettis and Velus Jones for that wide receiver 4 spot. He's an explosive athlete. He's known for his deep threat ability. He had 7 TDs on post routes since 2021, which is tied for most in Division 1 in that span. He had a 4.44 40-yard dash, and he's going to need to get some experience in, but speed of the game should not be a big issue for him. Once he gets up to speed, he'll be a good contributor and a great plug and play if someone gets injured. He can really make some plays and gives Fields a legit deep threat if he can exceed expectations. I'm going to go an A grade on that. I think it's a really good value pick. And with the next pick, Noah Sewell, linebacker out of Oregon. Sewell joins an extremely talented linebacker core with Edwards, Edmonds, and Sanborn. He's the brother of Lions tackle Penei Sewell, and he's a 2-time Butkus Awards semifinalist. Chicago's showing to have a thing for versatile defensive pieces, as Sewell played inside linebacker and outside linebacker, and even slot cornerback / dime linebacker. He's also a very good pass rusher. He had an 18% pressure rate over the past 2 years, which is good for 11th among D1 players with at least 150 pass rushing snaps. And he may be a bit raw, but Sewell is in good hands with Edwards and Edmonds to sharpen his iron and Eberflus to coach him. The Bears just keep adding value. That's another grade A pick. Now with the last 3 picks, they got Terrell Smith, cornerback out of Minnesota, Travis Bell, defensive tackle out of Kennesaw State, and Kendall Williamson, safety from Stanford. The most important thing with these picks is getting as much depth as possible on the roster, and more importantly, getting competition to see who's worthy to fill in a roster spot in the first place. I think Chicago did everything they needed to do and could do during the offseason, and it's credit to GM Ryan Poles and head coach Matt Eberflus. It's really impressive to see how they've paved the way with just 1 year under their belt together. Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator, is also someone who I think is going to put on a clinic and could also be getting interest for a head coach job in the near future. Biggest thing though is how Fields plays. He missed some easy layups throughout the season, but also made some incredible plays that you just don't see every day. So that up and down play is sometimes scary, but it's also something that could actually be a good sign. For example, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson were really raw in their rookie year, and it showed. But Lamar, literally just a year later with the right pieces and the right coach, became an MVP. And Josh Allen has been putting up MVP numbers since 2020. I think the sky is the limit for this team in the future, and even right now, they have a real shot at winning the NFC North. I don't think the Vikings got better. I don't think the Packers got better. I think the only team that arguably got better was the Lions. So I'm going to have to say it's a toss-up between Detroit and Chicago for that division. If the new pieces can do what they were brought in to do, it should be a really, really good season for Chicago because the talent is there. It's tremendous. DJ Moore is a great receiver. Claypool, a great receiver. Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, Robert Tonyan. The backfield is loaded, and Justin Fields is a dual threat quarterback. The offensive line is great. There really is no weakness when you look at this team on offense. It just kind of depends on how Justin Fields plays and if it's way too hot or cold. I think he'll be good. I hope he's good. I think the defense is coming along. I think the D-line is a bit of an Achilles heel, but if the rookies can come in and do a really good job and exceed expectations, I don't think it'll be a problem. The linebackers are good. The secondary is young, but really coming along, I think. Jalen Johnson and Eddie Jackson are the reliable veterans, and they should really help out the young guys this year. The potential is really just through the roof, and that's the case with a lot of teams. You don't want to get on your high horse too much, but I'm telling you, if Fields can level the playing field and just be steady, be consistent, don't miss the layups, don't miss the easy throws, and if he adds that with his ability to make crazy plays with his feet, like he did against Philly, like he did against Miami, it should be an insane offense and a really hard one to stop. So Bears fans, I'm telling you, it's time. It's right now. You guys are legitimately a scary team. It's no joke. It's not Jay Cutler no more, no fucking Mitch Trubisky, no more suffering through the quarterbacks and the ups and downs. I think Eberflus and Poles have implemented a really good culture there. We're just going to have to see, but I think great things are headed for the Bears way. And that was it for this vid. If you're new here, I have an Instagram account at the Deep Ball, a really, really great account. I got news, highlights, all that good stuff. We're really close to 60K. I'm trying to hit 100K by the end of the year, and I need your guys' help. Over here on YouTube, you guys have been really, really supportive. The videos have been just getting over 5K, 10K, 20K. It's just been pouring out the views. So I really, really appreciate that. You guys mean a lot to me, and you know, I'm just going to keep grinding. NFL season's coming up soon, so a lot more content is on the way. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Leave some suggestions if you want in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.